Yo, so I just seen that Double XL got the votes for Double XL freshman. I was aware that my Double XL pitch came down for like 12 hours for some apparent reason. I'm leading the pitch views and everything by a big margin. I want to see if this Double XL freshman list is rigged or not. So go vote for me. Go vote for 6ix9ine. Go vote for me right now.
All right.
How do I vote for Bozo? No, seriously. How do I vote? He's popping. And why did it come down, his pitch? Do we know?
I don't. Well, actually, I do know. Apparently, they said it was some sound issue, and
Okay.
they took it down, and they put it back up. This shit rigged, man. This shit rigged. Hey, listen, man. I keep telling people the freshman cover is like an awards show.
Right.
You got to stop looking at these things like it's merit-based. It's all about money. And you can imagine for Double XL, it's the biggest look of the year for them. They probably have millions, if not tens of millions of dollars in sponsorships, and the people on these covers are not only the quote-unquote hottest in hip-hop,
Right.
but they don't want no one who has like anything that could affect the money that's coming in for the cover.
Okay.
That sponsorships might be like, I want to stand next to you. I told him from the get-go, I said, man, you do have some charges that a lot of people, whether you want to say they misunderstand them, they are real. And for that, for the rest of your career, people won't stand next to you, and you're going to have to accept that, and you thrive off controversy, so you better make the best of it, and I think this is what happened here.
Okay, but the pitch is back up.
Pitch is
on the
back
website.
up.
And to his credit, he's saying, let's see if it's rigged. He's not saying, yo, this shit is rigged. Yeah.
But basically, if he doesn't make it on, then he's going to be like, it's rigged. It's just a good setup on his part, always, right?
But right
He's good
now,
at this.
he's just saying, let's see. He's not totally shitting on it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what I mean rigged, too, is that 10-spot thing, where it's like, oh, fans vote whoever they want on. I think it's just the honest way of putting on, and I was telling Wayne, of putting someone on a list that either the fans can't understand why they're there, or the sponsors can't understand why they're there. For example,
So you think the sponsors may have had something to do with the pitch coming down?
well, no, not the pitch coming down. I think the sponsors don't want that nigga on the list, right? I think you have to justify it some way, somehow. Oh, he don't have enough votes. Oh, you're not the guy with the most amount of views on your pitch. The shit was going very viral yesterday. Take that shit down for a couple
I'm going to
hours.
vote for him. Real talk.
I mean, regardless of votes, regardless of any of his antics, I think he deserves to be on there. He deserves to be on there. If we're talking about him being an artist, him putting out a project, him having all these records, he deserves to be on there, but I don't know if this shit is rigged or not, man. Like, it's just, if he doesn't make it, it's unfortunate. But I could see why when you bring up the, him having the charges and all of that shit, because people are not going to want to stand next to him. Whether they're true or not, or him trying to explain, he doesn't have that time, to explain that to these corporations, so.
Well, I want to put both you guys in the foot or the shoes of like a CEO of a magazine or a media company or even a top editor, where you have millions of dollars on the line, and now we're living in the climate. Shit, there's a lot of people who they don't like when XXXTentacion gets coverage because he has pending charges. They don't like Kodak Black getting certain coverage, and of course we saw the video with NBA YoungBoy. If you have something like a list, do you say, man, fuck what the sponsors want, I'm going to keep the integrity and I'm going to just do it merit-based. If you deserve it, just off your music, I'll put you on. Or do you think, man, I'm not going to fuck up this money, fuck your feelings, I'm going to make sure whatever list that's going to be on it has to be a mix of both.
I think it's a balancing act. He has explained the charges and the conviction on multiple occasions. I somewhat sort of believe him. And again, I'm nobody's fan, but I do know how the system can be designed to make you cop out, to take the deal. Because if you blow trial, you're going to sit down for a decade or more. Sadly, that's the law of the land with a lot of young people. If they don't have the money for legal fees, I got to take this deal, whether I did it or not. And I'm not trying to discredit the young female at that particular point in time. But I tend to believe him, and I think that we as a nation have to be a little bit more understanding now, because we just have everybody who's just attack. Right. So to what you're saying about, a corporation, money, dollars, there has to be some type of balancing act. And to go back for a second, since you put XXX in the fucking equation here, there's a video out there on that fucking bozo. I mean, I won't go into it too deep, but, I would tend to give Tekashi a chance.
The crazy thing about all of this is that when we talk about these pending charges, they're not just pending charges, they're pending charges or allegations against women. Especially right now with, the Me Too movement rising and all of that. Whether he deserves it or not, you kind of can't play the fence on certain shit. Like, you just got to be one way or the other.
But does he have pending charges? He has a conviction.
He has a conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has
Doesn't
a
have pending
conviction.
charges.
Yeah, I was just
He has a
going because,
conviction.
well, we were speaking about, X briefly and other artists briefly about their pending charges. A lot of artists have pending charges for gun charges, all types of shit. But when we talking about putting your hands on a woman or allegedly sexually assaulting a woman.
What do you mean playing the fence, though?
I mean, you have to say, I'm not doing this shit. There is no in between. Like, I don't think you can really entertain him even being on this shit, for real, for real. I mean, they already have, but ultimately, when you think about what he has up against him, you have to make a decision. And that decision is really going to be based on what you did or didn't do.
So, and you're right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You can't play the fence. And this is one of my critiques with XXL, right? Mm-hmm. They explained, another guy who's from Chicago, famous next day, they said, hey, he had all the things that we needed to put him on the list, but there was a video that came out of him hitting his girlfriend. We could not put him on the list. At that time, no way.
Right.
But then they put X on the list, right? And again, which side are you on? But then they explained away by saying, oh, we didn't do it, the fans did it. Right? Now, it's this situation. Yeah. Are they going to say, no, we picked Tekashi if he does make it, or are they going to say, no, the fans picked him? Regardless, you're playing the fence.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just speaking about me. You said put in my if I had to.
And I think playing the fence is what's got us here. Like, if they came out and said, listen, if you got any type of charges or allegations or something that we even see that there's a little bit of proof that you did something to a woman, you're not making it. We don't give a fuck how hot you are,
okay,
how much you sold.
Based upon what you're saying now and what I think you're saying, should XXX be removed from his position last year based upon the new video that just came out since you mentioned it?
No, because they can't go back and rewrite the past.
They can't.
And again,
sure you can. Sure you can. He can be disqualified. Happens all the time.
Yeah, but once an artist passes the XXL list, they don't really need it anymore. Like,
I'm just talking about the credibility of the list. And show some fucking integrity. You're disqualified. The video bothers the shit out of me. I didn't want to mention it, but it bothers. And I'm not even a father. It bothers me.
Let me ask you a question though. So, I get it with the integrity part, but XXL probably made millions off that kid being on the list.
Okay.
So you disqualify him, but you still got all
made the money. Now you're disqualified.
That's still a little
Stand up for victims.
Cheap.
I would like to see that. I would like
to see that. If they're like, hey, we're taking him off the list, but all the money we made or a portion of the money we made from the cover,
donate it to some charity.
For that, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Okay. But don't keep the money and then say fuck them.
But the thing about it is, like, this is not sports. It's like, in sports, they could take your Heisman or your MVP. They could take that shit.
Trophy.
They could take all that shit away. It's like, what can we take now? I mean, at this point, we're just now seeing this video or whatever, but what can you take from them? You can't get rid of all the books you've already sold.
And you know what, though? By the way, the video is disgusting, right? Some people are trying to say they were playing. I heard, and I'm not too sure if this is 100% correct. The young woman, she kind of came out and said, no, we weren't playing.
She did come out.
I was scared, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Very serious video. The video, if you look at how he looks compared to how he looks now, the video seems like he may have been 4 years old. And
that don't matter when a man is hitting a woman.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. And he has current charges for things like that. But then we do also got to get into the conversation of, like, for most of these guys that even we're talking about for the freshman list, they got some past shit up their sleeves. Like, should we really, like, dig up everything they got going on? I mean, I think the timing of that coming out was a little bit sus, but of course the video is trash in general.
Yeah. But back to Tekashi, again, he says, let's see if it's rigged. And again, I think that he may have taken a deal and a plea because as he said, he didn't have money for a lawyer, and I would give him a chance to put him on the list. That's just me personally.
Yeah. As an artist, he deserved to be on the list.
Yeah, for me, you see, I still want to look at that list as a merit-based thing. So if the list isn't representative of what the fans believe should be there, you lose credibility.
I feel you on that, too.
All right, well, no matter what happens with Tekashi and this freshman list, like, no one's going to tell him that he's not the king of New York, especially when he has 50 Cent giving him the coast
Hey,
guide.
50. Hey, girl.
I mean, we here, man.
they doing?
This the real New York City, man.
Tell them what you
know
running.
what I'm saying?
Tell them what you running.
New York moms, right?
Tell them what you running.
New York is mom, man. What are you talking about? And we ain't wearing no gloves. They know us.
Does this lend some credibility to his argument?
Let me say it again. Hey, 50. Hey, girl. That's my guy. We're very, very cool. But what's with 50 always with the young rappers? He befriended Chief Keef once upon a time. Didn't he buy him a fucking Maserati or some shit like that?
They got like a GQ cover or something like that.
No, that's
Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy.
Oh, Soulja Boy. Okay,
Double
that's-
XL.
Yeah, Soulja Boy. They hate to miss nothing.
Yeah.
And he's hanging out with Troy Ave when he got, shot up. Why is he always with the younger rappers?
Yeah.
I'm
Does
just curious.
50 say this because he really believes it, or is this just a
I don't
knob
know.
for
You
him?
never know what to expect from 50. I don't look. Here he
Wayno.
goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. I'm not gonna let it
I
happen
didn't
today.
hear 50 in that video talking about, nigga, you not selling out the Barclays. Nah, he said, tell him what you run. Tell him what you run. Wayno, was 50, let's ask Wayno some hard.
Come on,
questions.
Wayno.
What?
Was 50 the king of New York at one point, or maybe he still is? It take long to answer, man. 50 wasn't the
You
king
know
of
what?
New York at one point?
I never considered 50 the king of New York because when he still was reigning, Jay was still better than him as a rapper. That was at the time. That was the criteria to being a better rapper. Now 50 was outselling everybody, but I don't think he had better music than Jay. That's just my personal opinion.
This nigga always find his way to just like weasel out. Yo,
That's my
Jay
personal
gotta
opinion.
Tweet out that Tekashi wrote in New York for him to believe it. Jay, send that tweet out, or Blue Ivy just type on it out.
Ivy.
Yo, all right.
Hey man, leave the kids out of this.
What I will say is that 50 understands this is trolling. 50 is a person that depends on
Yeah, he's
trolling,
the master troll.
right? And also, in terms of 50 is fucking with the new hot guy who has a little bit of street element. Yeah, you're right. Chief
Yeah.
Keef, Soulja Boy, Troy Ave. Like, he keeps himself close to those people. And I think 50 kind of seen how he came up. Like, 50 came out with How to Rob. And he probably seen like, yo, I went at all these motherfuckers. And when people thought it was going to crash and burn for me, it actually worked. And I finessed it on some business level to be really a mogul. I'm seeing this kid kind of saying, fuck it, I'll be for all you niggas.
Right.
What's up? And I think 50 does admire that a little bit in terms of the King of New York shit. And we saw 50 address this too with when who he Star said is the King of New York. Kendrick came out on Control and said, I'm the King of New York. 50 came out and said, it ain't my job to say he's not. You new niggas need to go defend that. So 50 is not in a place of saying, if anybody claims they're the King of New York, I need to go check him. 50 is like, if you new niggas can't respond or can't claim it yourself, fuck it.
I want to
50
counter.
already did his thing.
I want to counter what you said because I was on Hot 97 at the time, and 50 Cent most certainly was the king of New York on some bullshit. Jay-Z lost a lot of credibility after Ether came out. Yes, he did. And the tide had shifted. People were riding with Nas. So if you're talking about popularity, credibility, rhymes, Ether came out and leveled the whole fucking playing field. And that's when 50 moved in there. He most certainly was the king.
I'm confused.
The station was on his dick. We were bumping G-Unit and 50 Cent night and day and night. Jay-Z was there, yes, but he most certainly was the king of New York at one time.
Wait, now, when Ether came out, I wouldn't say Jay lost credibility. He lost the battle. He did lose the battle. He didn't lose credibility. In what sense do you lose credibility?
I was on the radio, and yeah, people were like, people had their heads held low.
And also, speaking of which, Jay did admit, he said when that 50 wave came back, I told everybody at Rockefeller, we falling back. Let this shit come
yeah. No, 50 is like some shit we've never seen. Like when he
how do you
came
think
out.
he wasn't the king, like even for a short period.
What I'm saying is that you asked me what I felt, right?
Yeah.
I based it on being the better rapper, right? Now, yeah, he ran shit when it came to business, this is that and the third, Vitamin Water, G-Unit Records, everybody, even Tony Ayo went platinum, everybody went platinum on G-Unit, right?
G-Unit tank tops.
Everything.
Double platinum, triple platinum, get it right.
Oh shit.
I don't know if Tony Ayo went triple, but I know Lloyd Banks did.
50.
He went diamond.
We're talking about
He went
50.
diamond. Yeah, 50 went diamond. I'm not I'm not discrediting that at all. You just asked me what I thought. Now my opinion might be biased because I was working for Rockefeller.
I was just about to say.
Objectively speaking, let's say 50 was the king of New York or a strong contender at one point. and move the argument forward
he
in
was
that
the king.
direction,
He was the
right?
king.
But all right, now look, when we say why 50 was the king, right? That's why I guess the criteria is changing now, right? Because Tekashi, with everything he has, he ain't no 50 Cent. He ain't no Jay-Z. At best, he's not none of them. At best.
But clearly 50 could see the change in time.
50 is, listen, 50's having fun, man. 50's having fun. I'm not discrediting that. He's having fun.
Wait, no, with the spin factor.
By the way, you're right.
Euro
yo.
steps, you know what I mean?
By the way, I keep telling y'all about trolling. Some people take it super serious.
Yeah.
Yo, I do believe I compared Tekashi to Donald Trump. You say some shit, it's wild, outlandish, and when people kind of get mad at it, you just keep saying it and doubling down. I think I'm building a wall. What? You building a I'm building it 20 feet high. Nigga, the fuck y'all talking? So, you know what I mean? You
We
kinda
still ain't seeing the wall this year, too, right?
you kind of get people more like agitated about it, and I could tell 50 understands that 50's humor on social media, whether he's clowning Floyd, which is supposed to be his friend, or whoever, immaculate.
But for the record, I do not hate Tekashi, right? And I like positive Tekashi. I said this in the green room. I like
He
positive
don't live in
Tekashi.
Jersey now. He might not really know.
I don't
what's
know
going
the
on
Jersey.
New
That's
York.
where I live.
That means nothing coming from this guy.
I
You
don't
gotta
know,
check
man.
in with Act.
In Jersey?
Yeah.
50 gave a big cosign, man. If Nas came out and be like, I know he ain't got no bars like
Now,
I was thinking, but
see, if Nas or Jay say the shit, it would be taken super serious because they're looked at as better rappers and better lyricists than 50 Cent.
okay,
50
you're
Cent.
looking in terms of like rapping.
Yeah, in terms of rapping. Now, if Nas or Jay-Z said that shit, I'd be like, whoa. But 50 has always been a great artist, but lyrically, he never was the caliber of a Jay or a Nas. He sold records and all of that. I'm just talking about his ability.
And that's where I think we could agree to disagree, because when I think about running or being the king of New York, yeah, of course, like your lyrics and your talent matters, and 50 is very talented. But I look at in terms of your movement. Like,
Right.
Is your movement the biggest thing happening at that time? And there was multiple movements happening in New York at the same time with Dipset, the Locks. But when we saw G, when it came, like it was a fucking
That was some shit we never seen.
exactly.
It was
So
crazy.
I mean, I guess it's just different criteria.
Absolutely.
Stop hating on 50, man.
Oh, this guy, man, always with some hating on somebody shit.
All right, so we got some new music from G Herbo. So this was originally recorded as a freestyle for a